What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Fantasy Goods, and you know what time it is. It's Start 'em, Sit 'em, Trade 'em, where we give you 3 players, and you gotta choose whether you gotta start 'em, you gotta sit 'em, or you gotta trade 'em. Now, take it with a grain of salt, because we're not actually telling you to trade and sit these people. We're just telling you, out of the 3 people, start one, sit one, trade one. That's how it's gonna go. All right, Adam, you wanna go first? Well, I'll go first.
You go first, man.
Yeah,
ladies first.
I'll go first. Okay. Cue the music. All right, we got Odell Beckham going against the Colts. We got Tyler Lockett going against the Vikings, or Mike Evans going against the Bears. Start one, sit one, trade.
All right, so I'm gonna start Tyler Lockett. Shitty Vikings defense. Lockett is going to get his catches. He didn't get many last game. I think he was, 1 for 5 or something like that.
He didn't
Some
do
stupid
that
number.
great.
I don't even remember the exact
But he's going to get his boost up.
Russell Wilson throws to everyone there. Like, he's going to get it. Don't worry. Start him.
Let Russ cook.
I'm going to bench Mike Evans. I want to see him build more chemistry with Brady.
Yeah.
I feel like, put him away. That's going to be helpful later.
Not to mention Chris Godwin's out, too.
I'm going to trade Odell.
Yeah.
I'm not riding high in this last game against the Dallas Cowboys. I am not. Odell, I don't think Odell is back. You can't even make the argument until it's been 2 games where he's done Odell things.
Yeah.
So, trade. And you'll get something for it. That's a big name. Someone's going to take that.
Especially that he had a big game.
Not to mention they're going against the Colts.
Yeah. Dude, I would do the exact same thing. I would start Tyler Lockett, sit Mike Evans. I like Mike Evans, but like I said, with Chris Godwin out, it might be kind of tough. But when he comes back, Mike Evans is going to get his shit.
Between Lockett and Evans, like I know what Lockett can do. We got to see what Evans can do more consistently.
Yeah. And Evans. Odell Beckham, I want no part of him. He has done nothing this whole season besides last game where he blew up against the Dallas Cowboys. And let's face it, that Dallas Cowboys defense, me as a Cowboys fan, I am just ashamed. Ashamed. Like, what the hell are you doing over there? Get your shit together. But yeah, I would trade Odell Beckham. Let someone think they got someone high. All right, Adam.
You ready?
Yeah.
Cue the music. We got Chris Carson versus the Vikings. Clyde Edwards-Helaire versus the Raiders. And Jonathan Taylor versus the Browns. Start one, sit one, trade one.
All right. This is tough. This is going to be a tough one. Oh, man. I would just have to start Clyde Edwards-Helaire, even though he's not doing that well. The last couple of games, I mean, he's been getting, okay points, but not Clyde Edwards-Helaire points that everybody else is wishing that he would get. But you have to start him because he's on the Chiefs. I'm going to sit Jonathan Taylor. I think he just had a bad game last week. I feel like he's a rookie. You're going to see the better come out mid-season to later season with him. So I'm going to sit him. And Chris Carson, I hate doing it, but I'm going to trade him. And the reason why I'm trading him in this scenario is the fact that he's getting injured. He's coming back into the game, but how long is that going to last? He's just one more injury away from being out a couple weeks. And I don't want to deal with that. I would rather just trade him. Yeah.
That is exactly what I would do. Chiefs offense, duh.
Yeah.
It's starting. Jonathan Taylor, definitely bench and keep, because what else are they? They're not throwing a TY in Indy, so they're running the ball. That's all they're doing. It's gonna happen. He's gonna start blowing up again.
Yeah.
And Chris Carson, injuries at the run game. Don't want that happening again.
Yeah.
Besides, Russell Wilson favors his receivers, or himself.
Yeah. All right. You ready for your next one, Adam?
Let's do it.
Cue the music. All right. This is a little tricky one right here. You ready? We got Kenyon Drake against the Jets. Daryl Henderson going against the Redskins, or Mark Ingram going against the Bengals. Start one, sit one, trade one.
Okay. I'm going to start Kenyon Drake against the Jets. He's been pretty consistent. I think he's only got 1 touchdown this season, if that.
Yeah.
So all his points are based on yards. So right there alone, that speaks to me that he's getting points like that based off yards. No touchdowns involved in those. Start him. I'm gonna sit Mark Ingram. I mean, that's a powerful running back you got there in Baltimore. He is favored around there. He gets his touches, and I'm gonna trade Daryl Henderson. The other running backs are starting to come back into play now, so he's gonna lose touches here and there. I know he's been him, but I'll trade him now. See if someone snags and gets something good for him. Yeah. Other than that,
I mean, I can see someone doing that. Me, on the other hand, I'm gonna do something a little bit differently. I'm going to give Kenyon Drake one more chance, and that's because he's playing the Jets. Okay, Kenyon Drake is not putting up Kenyon Drake numbers right now. He's a disappointment. At least in my eyes, Kenyon Drake is a disappointment. A lot of you picked him in the first round. He's looking like a 7th round pick right now. Okay? But yeah, I would have to start him going against the Jets. You know, if he doesn't do anything on the Jets, get rid of him. Trade him. I would even sit him if he's not going to do anything.
Drop him. Put him on the wire.
I don't know about dropping him, but... but I'm going to sit Daryl Henderson because I believe that Daryl Henderson is the best running back in that backfield. I truly believe so. He's been consistent.
I'm just saying they're coming back. I mean,
yeah.
If not this week, next week, and then that's just loss of touches, if anything.
Yeah, but the way I look at it is Daryl Henderson is getting more touches than all of the others. He's going to get more touches than Akers. He's going to get more touches than Brown.
I understand, but out of that, we agreed on Kenyon Drake staying and give him another chance. Like, you got to be something, man.
Yeah, but I would sit Daryl Henderson, and I'm going to trade Mark Ingram. I am not... This is the thing about Mark Ingram, okay? It is a run-heavy offense, okay? And when I mean run-heavy, I mean Lamar Jackson run-heavy. And when Lamar Jackson's out running, they're pounding the ball in the red zone with either J.K. Dobbins, Mark Ingram, or Gus Edwards. You know, you never know who's going to get that ball in that red zone.
Yeah, you know what? He was out-touched last week by Gus Edwards.
And you never know who's going to be in that red zone. I don't want none of part of that. I'm going to trade Mark Ingram, see what I can get with him. Tough call, but I will. Okay?
Agree to disagree.
Yeah, agree to disagree.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Cue the music. We have Corey Davis at the Bills, Russell Gage versus the Panthers, Hollywood Brown versus the Bengals. Start one, sit one, trade.
Oh, man. All right, well, I'm going to start Russell Gage this week against the Panthers. The Falcons are known for blowing up the Panthers in the pass game, especially with Julio there. But Julio's not going to be there, okay? He hurt his hamstring again. I don't know what the deal is. He's probably going to be out for another couple of weeks, which really pisses me off because I'm a Julio Jones owner. But yeah, I'm going to start Russell Gage against the Panthers. I think it's a great matchup. I'm going to sit Hollywood Brown. I believe that eventually this passing game in the Ravens will step up a little bit, and I can see Hollywood Brown doing his thing later on in the season. And then I'm going to trade Corey Davis because I think Corey Davis is going to be irrelevant once A.J. Brown comes back. You know, everybody's hopping on the Corey Davis train, but he's been around for so long and hasn't done nothing. I'm gonna trade Corey Davis. A.J. Brown's coming back. He's going to be obsolete, in my opinion.
I agree. All three.
All three?
Yeah, dude, Corey Davis, with that coming back, this is a thing that's going to start happening now within the next week to week 6, is those injuries that happen early. Some of them are coming back now.
Yeah.
So all these people that are, like, getting these touches out of nowhere and getting you these fucking 20-point games, they're not going to be putting 20-point games no more because they were just the second banana on whatever team.
All those IR players that were week 1, week 2, they're gonna come back. You know,
like when
4 weeks.
Christian McCaffrey comes back.
Yeah, you know, Mike Davis, is he gonna be obsolete? Who knows? All right, so I got one for you now. Cue the music. All right, so we got a couple run-heavy running backs right here. All very good running backs. at least last week. We got Joe Mixon versus the Ravens, Dalvin Cook against Seattle, or James Robinson going against Houston.
All right.
Start one, sit one, trade one.
I'm gonna start Dalvin Cook. I feel like that's the absolute solid choice right there. The man's he's reliable. He's a high scorer, run heavy, as you said. Going against Seattle, run defense isn't doing so well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bench James Robinson. Actually, it's a hard decision between the two, but I went with what I know with Cook, so I'm gonna have him starting. That's the best I got between those two. Joe Mixon, crazy game last week. Because of that, I want to trade him high.
Yeah. Yeah, no, dude.
There's nothing personal between the three of them because they're all solid, so it's hard to do, and it's based off this small things. Like, yeah. I feel like I get the most from him, ride high on a really high game out of nowhere.
Yeah, no. I definitely agree on trading Joe Mixon. Like, he had a great game. Trade him now. Trade him. That's probably one out of the 3 games that you're going to see Joe Mixon do good on. Trade him high. Now, this is a tough one because James Robinson has been on a roll. And he's going against Houston. And then you got Dalvin Cook going against Seattle. Now Seattle's not really known for their passing defense. And if they can give Dalvin Cook the ball, in the air at least, short post routes, maybe a couple curls here and there, I can definitely see Dalvin Cook putting up a lot of points on the Seattle defense. So I'm going to start Dalvin Cook against Seattle and sit James Robinson. So even though agree. I'm going to be honest with you. The only reason why I'm doing it is because it's Dalvin Cook.
So you agree?
Yes, I agree with Adam. That's the only reason why. It's because it's Dalvin Cook. But James Robinson, I would start him against Houston too. But in this scenario, I would sit
It's
him.
hard to do. You go with what you know exactly. Like, we know Cook.
Yeah.
So, based off that.
All right. Last one.
All right. You ready, Ben? Last one.
Let's go.
We have Mike Davis versus the Falcons, Antonio Gibson versus the Rams, and Jerick McKinnon against the Fish.
Oh, man. Okay. This is a hard one for me. I think I'm going to start Antonio Gibson. He's been scoring touchdowns in the last 3 games. He's been putting up points even though they've been behind. Antonio Gibson, to me, is going to be the long run, long hold running back for the Redskins for at least the next couple years. I can see that happening. I'm going to trade Mike Davis. I like Mike Davis, but I'm trading him because once CMC comes back, he's going to be obsolete. You're not going to see him. Okay?
He's not even going to re-aggravate that injury. Yeah. He's the number 1 fantasy player.
Yeah.
He's the number 1 football player, or offensively, I guess.
Yeah.
And they're going to do it right. He's not going to get injured again like that. It'll be a new injury if that's the case.
Yeah, and I'm going to sit Jerick McKinnon. Mozart's going to come back, but we don't know if he's going to re-aggravate it or even if he's going to play a whole game. So for this week, and this week only, I would sit Jerick McKinnon. Next week, come back to me, and I'll probably change my decision on that. But as long as Raheem Mostert is in, I'm not going to play Jerick McKinnon. That is just me.
Yeah, I pretty much agree. I would trade Mike Davis, as I was just saying. It's like that McCaffrey injury. They're going to do that the right way. This is their fucking top guy, the top guy. So it's going to be done right. No need for his handcuff right now. Antonio Gibson would start. That touchdown consistency, that's what more could you ask for, really?
Yeah.
Like, that's a solid chunk of points right there.
Yeah.
And Jerick McKinnon, yeah, Mozart is coming back. He's going to be limited this week, so especially this week.
Yeah. And you never know. If Mozart gets hurt again, you got Jerick McKinnon again.
Told you, love those handcuffs.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the handcuffs. I would keep all of these guys on my bench, to be honest with you. Like, I would
nice
start.
That's a good bench.
Yeah, dude, with Mike Davis on my bench, if CMC comes back, and Jerick McKinnon on my bench, if Mozart comes back, I feel like I'm set. Like, I'm very comfortable if one of them go down, and I can rely on one of those.
I think even when McCaffrey comes back, Mike Davis might be a possible flex player even still.
Could
he's
be.
been doing well.
Could be. And that's why I would trade him. Because I feel like out of those 3,
I get something for it.
I could probably get the most upside for Mike Davis because I'm not going to trade Antonio Gibson.
No.
So I think I get more for Mike Davis than I would Jerry McKinnon.
You ride the touchdown machine.
Yes. Ride the touchdown machine. All right, guys. So that's going to wrap it up today for Stardom Sit 'em Trade 'em Week 5. I'm Ben.
And I'm Adam.
We're the Fantasy Goods. And we
got the
goods. Boom.